Hi guys, Harris here. I just wanted to do another update regarding the cave video. I mean, not a video, cave project. Well, kind of the same thing. But while I was working on it this week, I ran into a bit of an issue, and that was trying to get a cutout in the landscape. I did figure it out, which is what the main topic of the video is going to be right now. But this did take me a bit of a trial error and a little bit of research to figure out. Now, as you can see, it is not entirely perfect. There are some cutaways of the landscape bleeding through. Though for the bottom ones, they have disappeared. I guess it was just more for a render or an LOD thing. But basically, how I did this is I went to landscape mode, sculpt, visibility, and there's two ways of doing it. If you just click it as it is, let me just increase the brush size. It cuts holes in the landscape. This is a simple left click. Now if you hold down shift and do a left click, it repaints it. And this is how you can cut holes in the landscape of Unreal Engine. Similar to Terrain 3D, but just a little bit more convoluted. So if I want to cut out the bleed through, this is how I would do it. Now there is a bit of an issue doing it this way, and that is, if you can see, the way the terrain is done is kind of using, let me see if I can show you. Okay, wireframe doesn't do it the best. Let me see if there's another way. Okay, just take my word for it as I say it. But basically the terrain has smaller chunks, so as it deletes and makes them, it's deleting these small chunks out of it. Sometimes there can be a bit of bleed through around the mesh here. So I could just hold down shift and repatch it, but if I do that, it's just going to create more bleed through underneath. For this version, so for this issue, what I would do is just add in some rock assets. Say I'm working on the actual cave itself, I would add in some small rock assets just around it, just to patch up those holes and make it, blend in a bit more. But apart from that, this is how you would do it. Now, if you do this on a default landscape with a default material, it's not gonna work. And let me show you why. Let me just save it first. For this, I have created a custom landscape material that, if you go to the landscape, I have applied this material. Now this is a very bare bones material. I just made it on a quick, just on a quick. But basically what you need in order to be able to cut holes into Unreal Engine terrains is the landscape visibility mask, which only connects to the opacity mask. If you created a new material and just saw the landscape output node, the opacity mask is going to be grayed out, the same way the opacity override is. To solve that, you go down, you click the landscape, you go down to the blend mode, and normally it would be on opaque. I set it to masked, and that unlocks the opacity mask. Now, depending on any material that you're using, all you would have to do is go to blend mode when you click the output, switch it to masked, and then in the opacity mask, just plug in the landscape visibility mask. You can just type it in here, just right clicking anywhere. It's the one at the bottom, and you can connect it directly to the opacity mask, ignoring everything else. But because this was a blank material, I just wanted to test it with it a little bit more. I created the base color, the metallic, alpha, put it to a set material attributes, and then broke it apart so it would connect, because it was not connecting it directly. But you can ignore the rest of it. All you really need is the landscape visibility mask going straight to the opacity mask. That's all you need. So let me just get out of that. So once you have that in, yeah, you can cut holes into any material. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean, I could just duplicate it and show you how it looks again, but why not? Duplicate. Get up. Okay, this one is a bit big. Let me squeeze it down and bring it down. Let me make sure it goes all the way through. Okay, it does. Now, just give Lumen a minute to cut, to just, you know, load everything. Alright, back to landscape, sculpt, visibility, 50, just make the cuts to the landscape material, and you can see it's already showing the other side. That's because there's no, this is a single-sided material, it is not double-sided for the landscape, but you are still gonna have to empty it out on the other side. And as you can see down here at the bottom, there are some holes bleeding through. Just need to add some rock acids and that would fix that. But here, same thing, you can just clean it up from this side. Yeah, more bleed through. Just need to cover that up with more assets. But once you clean it up, oof, okay, not my best work. But I think you guys get the point. That's how this works. So I was struggling with this a few times when I was trying to build the cave system, which is why I don't have it done yet. So this is just a test level, I was just testing this on. But yeah, I think there's a couple of other issues I also ran into, which I'm going to cover next week. Anything that I feel like I should just make a tutorial on, or just, you know, talk about, I'll just do that, but over time I'll just get the cave system done. As I'm also going through it, I am finding more ways to make the scene look a little prettier as it is. I think since this project is going to go a bit longer than I thought, I think for the actual cave project, once it's all done, I'm going to try testing the tween, the iTween system in Unreal, just to make a good cinematic for it, where it just flies around the scene, just showcasing everything, so it's going to just, you know, look kind of like a movie. At least that's what I'm thinking on how to go about it. Let me just see if I can just patch that a little bit. Yeah, just holding down Shift, left click, and that cleans it up. And yeah, those will just go away as you get closer. So yeah. Anyway, that was just a quick video for this one. I will catch you guys next week, and yeah, that's where we are so far. Thanks. Bye-bye.